pull the whole thing down, I'm gonna bring the whole fucking diseased, corrupt temple down on your head. It's gonna be biblical.
Hi guys, I'm back at it again. I'm your it girl, Marianne Jo Gabrielle, and today we are going to talk about a film about the messed up justice system of the United States, where horrible criminals can just go around freely after doing horrible crimes because of crappy and unfair jurisdictions. This movie is called Law Abiding Citizen starring Gerard Butler and Jamie Foxx. On the first scene, the main character's family was abused and killed. His wife and daughter were both, trigger warning, sexually assaulted by the bad people. So just from this scene, I actually already hated the movie because it's just disgusting how producers would actually think that child rape or rape in general is okay to include in a movie. To be honest, I hate watching films like these because they trigger me and stress me out because it's just stressful. That situation is not easy to cope with, and I don't like it. Okay, let's continue. Gerard Butler as Clyde Shelton asks Jamie Foxx as Nick Rice to put the killers on the death row. So he says that the evidences are inconclusive and he blacked out, and that Clyde blacked out during the scene, which made him unable to stand as a witness. So in conclusion, he can't put one of the criminals on the death row. He can't put the one who assaulted his daughter and wife to the death row. So 10 years have passed after the trial, and before the 10 years has passed, Clyde saw Nick shaking the hand of his family's killer, which ignited his heart for vengeance. Okay, so Ames, one of the killers, the assaulter, the rapist, was finally put down horribly. It's not the kill, it's Ames, the accomplice, but not the rapist. I'm sorry, I should correct that. Darby is the killer and the rapist. Ames is not. He's just one of the killers. He said that he didn't kill Clyde's family. The other killer was still unrepentant. The killing machine was tampered with because it was supposed to be pain-free, but Ames died very painfully because someone messed with the machine and changed, I think, medicine with something else. So in the next scene, the other culprit was living his best life, doing cocaine and doing whatever he wants. An unknown person called him and told him that he should run because the police are coming. He told him some instructions and off the culprit went. Clyde actually turned out to be the one who was calling the culprit and advising him to do things. He poisoned the person who killed his family, and he tortured him very gruesomely, very grossly, and it was shown on the scene. Okay, that was a loud people. Sorry for that. It was shown that someone sent a DVD of Clyde's torture to Nick's house, and his daughter and wife saw the video. So basically, he sent the video to Nick's family, maybe as a form of vengeance. Clyde was arrested by Nick. He was interrogated, and Clyde bluffed Nick. Nick thought that he confessed to the crimes, but he actually didn't. He said he only wanted one thing before he confesses, which is a Dogziana bed, a mattress. And he was obviously being sarcastic, and he was trying to prove something. So after Nick discovered that his family has watched the tape, he finally agreed to give Clyde the mattress. He finally confessed to Nick after another trial, but he said that he wanted a porterhouse steak and iPod in exchange for another confession. This time, it was for the case of Bill Reynolds Darby and Ames' attorney. Clyde is playing with the prosecutors. So on the next scene, he buried Bill Reynolds, and then he brutally killed his cellmate, whom he shared his stake with and music with. He got moved to solitary after that, and after that scene, we get to see Clyde's history. It turns out that he is a tactician, and that he can kill even without being in the same place. So yeah, he's a murderer. On a faraway place. Then Nick was finally alarmed because Clyde is not a typical murderer. He even killed the judge easily in front of Nick, considering that he is inside a special cell. So that was something else. He's smart. He's a tactician. So after that, he warned them that after 6 p.m. he would be killing all of everyone that is involved in the case. So Nick Rice and Sarah and everyone in the office was alarmed, and they didn't know what to do because they might get killed suddenly. And at 6 p.m. and it was 6 p.m. Nobody died. But after that, a series of prosecutors, judges, and authorities were killed, and maybe in accidents, in car accidents, and bombings and such. So yeah, it showed that Clyde was actually very powerful because he killed the authorities one by one. And he also mentioned that he aimed to wipe off the justice system of the country, and he's winning. So Nick and his follies tried to dig out any evidence or information about his future activities. And then they discovered a tunnel in one of Clyde's properties connected to all prison cells in the solitary. So when they tried to catch him, he already escaped from the cell through a disguise towards the city hall because he wanted to kill the mayor. So Clyde planted a bomb inside the city hall, and Nick has detonated it, or his team rather has successfully detonated it, and Clyde didn't know it. So Nick stops the explosion in the city hall and locks Clyde inside the cell, and the prison cell in the solitary explodes. It was implied that Nick was the one who planted the bomb and killed Clyde. Yes. So Clyde died in the end, and he joined his daughter and wife on the other side. Nick won in the end and finally got to watch his daughter's cello recital. So if I have a takeaway regarding the justice system in this movie, is that you should not fight fire with fire. It never ends well. It hurts a lot of people, even if you were a victim of injustice. You should learn how to forgive. Although yes, it might not be easy. It is really not easy to forgive considering what Clyde has experienced. I can't say that if I was in a situation I would forgive the culprits. I think I would not. I think I would not be able to. But what he did was out of line, and I think it was excessive considering that the people that he killed, some of the people that he killed were not involved in the initial or the crime or on Ames and Darby's case. They were not involved in that, and he killed them. It's just maybe it was a result of what happened to him and his family, and yeah, it was at first I when he killed the rapist and the killer, I was actually really satisfied about that because he deserved it. But the other killings were unnecessary, and I think it shouldn't have had been done because it was unnecessary. Okay, so that's my takeaway with Law-Abiding Citizen, and I hope that you have the same thought as me. Sure, of course you don't, but I hope that I've given you something to think about. So that's it for this video. I hope that you watch until the end because it was a good movie. I'd rate it over 5. I would rate it 3 because I really didn't like. I don't like violence and stuff. I hate violence. I'd rather sit inside my room and cry. All right, and laugh. Actually, rather. So that's it for this video. I hope that you got something from this, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.